Hey everyone, welcome to this daily Sidereal Astrology forecast for Monday, June 29th, 2020. Alright, so today we have the moon still well set in improvement-oriented Virgo, which was the case the past couple days, so still good for seeing what can be improved in our life, maybe creating a bit of structure, doing the work, refining things, really good for this kind of earth energy. But the larger cycle is still that around air with the Sun and Mercury retrograde in Gemini, which is all about creating more flexibility in our life, being willing to learn, communicate, share, and exchange with others, really good to further develop as well. But because these are two very different energies, we are in the first quarter phase, which means that it's a great time to challenge ourselves to integrate any new beginnings from the solar eclipse a week ago. So in this case, how can we be curious with Gemini, be willing to learn and communicate, while at the same time strive towards improvement and doing the work with Virgo. So going into tomorrow, we do have Jupiter conjunct Pluto for the second time. Very important collective energy we've had since early April, since April 4th. And this has to do with shifting our perspective on things. So a great day to empower ourselves with expanding our beliefs, what's possible, what is life, what is the meaning of things with Jupiter. Maybe some inspirations could be really good to empower ourselves as well. But with this also comes some deeper stuff coming to the surface that Jupiter can help us be aware of and learn and operate with to, again, transform things in our life and transform our beliefs and maybe empower ourselves towards what's possible. All right, so let's take a look at all this here in more detail when we return. All right, so here's the sky for this Monday. And again, we are using the visible sky called true sidereal astrology. This is very different from mainstream astrology. For example, you may have noticed I said that the sun is in Gemini, whereas in mainstream astrology, they say the sun is in Cancer at this time. So the signs are different, but we are using the visible sky as seen in the natural world. So if you are new to this channel, definitely check out the link down below for more information. All right, so let's take a look here at the moon in Virgo, which was the theme the past 2 days. Placing an emphasis on improvement, right? Virgo is the side of ourself that does want to refine things in our life, is willing to do the work and put in some self-discipline and really structure things. So if there is anything today that you do want to improve, refine upon, structure, and better in some way, this could be an excellent day to do that, as it really has been the past 2 days. Now, with that being said, of course, we are in the first quarter phase, which means the sun and moon are in a square, and it usually means coming up to the first challenges of the lunar cycle. And in this case, it's a solar eclipse cycle, and we had the solar eclipse not yesterday, but last Sunday, so a week ago. And so in this case, this larger cycle, this whole month, let's say, is really about getting in touch with our more flexible and adaptive side. And this is the sun in Gemini. And so really good time to be willing to learn and to willing to exchange with others, develop our communication skills, our language skills, our mind in any way, our practical side, right? And this does lead to more flexibility. So really good to do that, especially with Mercury retrograde. It is such an important time for more flexibility and being curious and being willing to learn. But with that, of course, the earth energy of Virgo is quite different. Structure, improvement, refinement. So that's the challenge is how can we be flexible with Gemini, be willing to learn, while at the same time improve upon things, refine things, do the work, create that structure. And in fact, both of these being mutable signs can create more flexibility in our life. Virgo creates flexibility by creating structures, right? Because when we have good routines or good habits, this leads to more flexibility in our life to have those foundations. And same with Gemini, of course, being curious, willing to learn, also creates that. So that's a good way of working with this phase of the cycle. Now going into tomorrow, we do have Jupiter, the planet of expansion, contacting Pluto, the planet of the underworld or of transformation and empowerment. And so this is a very important collective energy. It's been going on since early April 4th to be exact. And this has to do with a transformation to our perspectives, right? Both collectively and personally. So this is the second contact. It's the retrograde contact. And it usually means something shifts or starts to make a little bit more sense about it. So what I would say is if there has been anything since early April that you've shifted a perspective with. Maybe it's been a potential or an opportunity, something you're seeing as possible. Or maybe it's been about Jupiterian things like philosophy, spirituality, maybe travel or adventurousness. Anything that broadens your mind or broadens your horizons in some way. Really good to further develop here moving forward. So in this case, great day for empowering ourselves. If there is some new beliefs coming in, how can we maybe face some fears with those beliefs, transform some past beliefs that might be getting in the way of the new ones, right? Because Pluto is all about transformation, the death and the rebirth. So really good to do that, right? How can we see the bigger picture, see what's possible, maybe cultivate some of these Jupiterian things in a way that maybe faces some fears or empowers us or transforms us in some way, right? So we'll feel that mostly going into tomorrow, but really this whole part of the week I think is great for this. And if there has been something particularly from around April 4th in your life in this context, this could be a shift in the right direction, another step in the right direction in this larger yearly energy, because the last contact will be November 12th, which will really be the finalization of that. And what I would say is between now and November 12th, really good for implementing and experimenting with these new perspectives, or again, anything you can empower yourself with regarding your beliefs or what's possible in life. All right, so it's definitely the most important thing going on today, arguably for the whole week. So that's the most important thing. On a minor note, we do still have a bit of Mars sextile Saturn from Sunday, which could give us some discipline and more of a long-term approach to taking action. Good day still, I would say, for responsibilities and seeing the long road with where we put in our action. All right, and maybe some healing energy going into tomorrow I'll talk about, but in the later part, if there's anything you do want to challenge yourself with regarding healing, either physically, emotionally, spiritually, mentally, any type of healing, could be good to challenge yourself with going into tomorrow. But I'll talk more about that in tomorrow's daily video. The most important thing here today is this Sun in Gemini squaring up to the Moon in Virgo. How can we create more of that flexibility with Mercury retrograde? Be willing to experiment, try new things, learn, experiment with Gemini things like communication and using our minds in our practical life. And today, most importantly though, is how can we create this structure of doing the work, refining and improving things in our life. All right, so everyone have a fantastic day. Thank you so much for watching. Be sure to click that like button if you haven't yet. If you're new to the channel, subscribe for more daily videos. There's also a notification bell down below if you'd like to stay updated on when these videos are released. But I'll see you all tomorrow for the next daily forecast. Take care.